After nearly 6 days of silence, India has finally responded to the rapidly escalating conflict in West Asia. The statement comes a day after the United States sank an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Sri Lanka. The incident marks a dramatic expansion of the conflict and brings it closer to India's maritime neighborhood. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said military confrontation alone cannot resolve global crisis.
केवल मिलिट्री कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से किसी भी मुद्दे का समाधान नहीं निकल सकता। यूक्रेन हो या पश्चिमी एशिया, हम संघर्ष की शीघ्र समाप्ति और शांति के हर प्रयास का समर्थन करते रहेंगे।
The remarks mark New Delhi's first clear public response since the conflict sharply escalated earlier this week. India has also conveyed its condolences over the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, its first official response on the matter. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri visited the Iranian Embassy in New Delhi and signed the condolence book on behalf of the government of India. In another diplomatic outreach, External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar held a phone conversation with Iran's Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araqchi. The government's response follows criticism from opposition leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, who questioned the Prime Minister's silence and demanded clarity on India's position after Khamenei's killing. With the conflict widening from the Gulf to the Indian Ocean, India now finds itself walking a delicate diplomatic tightrope. New Delhi maintains strategic ties across the region. By calling for dialogue while keeping diplomatic channels open with Tehran, India is signaling a careful, calibrated approach. The priority remains de-escalation, regional stability, and the protection of its strategic interests. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's quickly cut across to my colleague Pranay Upadhyay, who's getting us up to speed with the very latest developments. Pranay, after now 6 days, you've had the Foreign Secretary sign the condolence book at the Iran Embassy. Can that be seen as the first official statement condoning the assassination of Iran's supreme leader?
Obviously, Preeti, as they say that, action speaks louder than the word. So definitely, India had spoken. India has expressed its, stand as far as expressing the condolence in the killing of or the assassination of Ayatollah Khamenei. And India's top diplomat, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, went to Iranian Embassy, signed the condolence book. Though we do not know exactly what did he write in the condolence book, but obviously he must have conveyed a carefully crafted and drafted message conveying the sentiment in India and expressing condolence on behalf of the people of India on the killing of or the assassination of, on the death of Iranian Supreme Leader, whatever you may call it as. But definitely the very fact that Indian Foreign Secretary went there to the Iranian Embassy, written his note in the condolence book, and he had a meeting with the Iranian ambassador there and expressed in words as well that what is the sentiment from India. But definitely after that, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S Jaishankar spoke to his Iranian counterpart, and India always solicited that there should be dialogue, there should be diplomacy. Military action or the solution to such problems cannot be achieved, through military means or through conflicts. We have to come to dialogue table, and you know that in a few days ago, External Affairs Minister also spoke to the Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sar. He also spoke to Dr. Syed Abbas Araqchi, and he may speak to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio as well in this case, and asking and urging all the parties to exercise restraint because people's lives are involved. And in fact, now you see, Preeti, India's economic interests are also getting impacted and affected by the widening sphere of this conflict.
Right. Thank you, Pranay, for joining us with that quick update. Let me also quickly rope in our Foreign Affairs Editor, Gita Mohan, who's joining us from the studios. Gita, you had the Foreign Secretary sign the condolence book at the Iranian Embassy. You've had the Foreign Minister pick up the phone, have a conversation with Iran's Foreign Minister. We've also seen a sense of a diplomatic thaw where we have now Indian tankers which will be allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So this tight diplomacy walk that India has been walking seem to be working, you think?
Well, I do think that the conversations were required because India would face a massive oil crunch should the Strait of Hormuz be closed or shut for business. And certainly conversations on that front must have taken place. But look, Dr. Jaishankar's message on the conversation that he had with Dr. Araqchi was rather cryptic. It just informs the world that there was a call that was made, no details that were divulged. There are many questions that still remain unanswered. While the Americans do not really have to inform of any action they take in international waters, but this is still the Indian Ocean. We're still talking about Sagar diplomacy, the Indo-Pacific and Quad, where all of them are still partners. Did India know? Was India informed about it? If that is true, then that raises a few concerns and questions. If India did not know about it, then that also raises few concerns and a lot of important questions. Either way, there are a lot of unanswered questions to what is now being considered a war that has reached India's backyard.
Gita, very quickly before I let you go, the sheer fact, optics, especially in times of diplomacy and at times of war, speak quite a bit. We've had now the Foreign Secretary, go to the Iranian Embassy, write in the condolence book. Do you see somewhere down the line, because there were a lot of questions that were being asked of India, of not taking a public stand where the assassination of Iran's supreme leader was concerned?
Well, absolutely. There were a lot of questions. There still are a lot of questions by all those who actually, in the past, have always hailed India's foreign policy, this administration's foreign policy. And on many counts, the administration had got it right. But I think on this one, even those who have always hailed the policy have questioned this time around as to why are we not looking at the importance of Iran rather than just being so focused on what and how America will react. Of course, the reaction is going to be very stern, but Russia and China have put their position and made their position very clear. India has to do the balancing act because India does have a strategic partnership with the United States of America. Should they have allowed it to this extent is something we still question.
All right, so from India, let's move to a broader worldview. Thank you, Gita, for joining us. I'm joined right now by Professor Adam Dixon from the Adam Smith Chair and Director of Panmure House in Edinburgh. Professor, thank you for taking the time out and joining us this evening. When you're looking at the developments, fast-paced developments around the world, there is an economic cost to it, there is a human cost to it. How do you see a possible end to this conflict? Do you see one at all?
So, I mean, obviously, like with any conflict, there are many risks and there are many unknowns. I think it's clear that the Americans and the Israelis and many other militaries will continue to attack Iran. But that I think also you'll see allies come together to ensure that trade routes are open and that alternative routes to shipping are open so that the world economy does not contract too much. What I would say is that markets in general, most investors would have been paying attention to this in the weeks running up. And so I think markets have priced many of these risks. And so what we're seeing is the volatility, but I don't see any longer term risks going forward.
You're saying you don't see in the long term risk going forward because at least with the kind of indication we've gotten from Israel, from America, is the fact that this is going to continue at least, for many, many days, if not over a month. Now, the Strait of Hormuz is shut where, oil is concerned. America is going to be impacted. There will be allies of Iran that have already stepped in while Chinese tankers are allowed to pass. But there are going to be impounding economic compulsions. Do you see that happening?
So again, I think over the long term, so I'm thinking over several months, I think this will subside. I think over the next coming weeks, there'll be lots of volatility in both commodity markets and global equity markets. However, I think that the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, will come together to ensure that shipping is allowed through the Strait of Hormuz. We've already seen that the Iranian Navy has been seriously depleted. And we also know that Saudi Arabia is transferring oil exports via the Red Sea. And we should also keep in mind that the Gulf is not the only part of the world that produces oil. I mean, for India, for example, There's different sources from Malaysia and other parts of Southeast Asia. There obviously will be a cost to this. This will drive up inflation across the globe. But at the same time, I think we have to step back and ask, how significant has Iran been in the global economy? And because of the sanctions over so many years, Iran's place has actually been quite insignificant. So the global economy as a whole should be able to withstand this conflict.
You know, it's an interesting contrarian point of view, Professor, than what most, are actually coming forth with. So you actually see this, that, or read it as economic compulsions, or the economic ramifications of this war will not be crucial in putting an end to this war. That's not going to be the fact.
No. Yeah, so if your question is, will Israel and the United States stop its actions because of concerns over the global economy? I don't think so. I think they have been very clear that they are committed to, if you like, regime change. I think that is, or some kind of change in Iran, and they will continue until Iran's military assets are significantly depleted, and that will have some economic disruptions. But I don't think pressure on the global economy will be such to change Trump or Netanyahu's or other allies that are getting involved in the conflict to stop.
Professor Dixon, thank you for taking the time out and joining us. An interesting point of view. Thank you, for joining us this evening. Viewers, I'm going to quickly now cut across to the latest in terms of images that have been streaming in, images that we have verified. Amidst the escalating conflict, social media is awash also with fake videos claiming to show events from the US, Israel, Iran. India today has fact-checked these. So a lot of information, there is this fog of war which is flooding the media and the social media space. What we've really done is to fact-check whether that video, whether that information is actually correct. Here we go. There is a claim that has been doing the rounds, especially in social media, that suggests that, which this video shows, the coffin of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Iran. The fact this video actually shows the coffin of Sheikh Arkan Hamid Mohan al-Karihala, the chief of the Shuvaliyat tribe in Iraq, who died on February 2nd. Nothing to do with Iran. The other claim that is flooding social media is this video, which seems to show millions of people attending the funeral of Ayatollah Khamenei in Iran. Well, the fact to this is, this was recorded at the Al-Qazimain shrine in Qadimiyah in Baghdad during commemoration for Imam Musa al-Kazim, not at Ali Khamenei's funeral. All right, a third fact check for the day. The claim this video shows Iran's attack on an Israeli nuclear plant. Fact, this video actually shows a military munition depot exploding in the eastern Ukrainian town of Balklea in 2017. All right, the other claim, this video shows the death of Israel's top religious leader in an Iranian missile attack. The video shows the funeral of Rabbi Binyamin Kanpulmakar, a respected religious figure who died in December 2025 of an illness at age 74. All right, news break coming in, this time from West Bengal. It seems the governor of West Bengal has resigned. Sources in the governor's house have confirmed the reason of resignation yet unknown. But word coming in from Raj Bhavan, Kolkata, that the governor of West Bengal, CV Ananda Bose, has resigned. What is the reason for that? Well, that remains, as intrigue, at least as of now. But CV Ananda Bose has resigned as West Bengal governor. To give you context, over the last couple of months, the governor of Bengal, Mr. Bose, and the chief minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, have been at loggerheads. There have been various battles, political and social, that the Raj Bhavan has fought with the chief minister's office. And word now coming in, and this is all source-based information, that the governor of West Bengal has resigned. Sources in the governor house has confirmed that CV Ananda Bose has resigned. The reason yet not known. He has also left for the national capital, Delhi. big news coming in, and all of this news is coming in where any day now elections will be announced for the state of West Bengal. And at this juncture, for the governor to put in his papers and resign from his position is huge. But CV Ananda Bose has resigned from the Bengal governor position. More details are awaited, and we're going to get our viewers up to speed with as and when we get in that information. This is the latest news break. His resignation comes in just a month before, or days before West Bengal goes into election. The Bengal Raj Bhavan sources have conveyed this information. We can confirm his resignation. We can confirm that he has left for the national capital. The reason why he has put in his papers and resigned, details on the grounds of resignation are filtering in. We want to verify the reasons, and only then will we give out that information. For now, if you put it all in context, CV Ananda Bose has been in constant crosshairs of the West Bengal government. One face-off after the other. Rarely have the governor and the West Bengal chief minister agreed on anything. All right, I want to cut across to our reporter on ground who's joining us with the very latest information. Tapas, do we know the reason why Mr. Bose has resigned as governor of West Bengal? What are the details of this resignation?
Well, see, as of now, what we have been given to understand by the governor house sources that governor has resigned and he is in Delhi right now. He has already tendered his resignation, but as far as the reason behind his resignation, it's still not known. It is being contemplated that there have been a lot of rift between the state government and the governor house since last few years. That could be a possible reason. But we are not, we have not been given any official reaction as to what was the reason behind governor's resignation as of now. In 2022's November, he took over as the governor of West Bengal after Jagdeep Dhankar, and now finally it has been confirmed by governor house sources that he has resigned. But the reason has not been cited as of now. We are still awaiting an official confirmation pertaining to the reason behind his resignation as the governor of West Bengal. Back to you.
Tapas, one thing is clear that Ananda Bose will not be completing his term as governor. We don't know whether his resignation has been accepted, but we only think we can confirm he's resigned, he's left for Delhi, correct?
Well, yes, absolutely. He has resigned and left for Delhi, but whether his resignation has been accepted or not, we are still awaiting a confirmation from the Raj Bhavan sources. But yes, we have been told that he has already resigned. All of a sudden, there was no plan whatsoever since the morning today, but suddenly he has resigned and left for Delhi. And a reason for his resignation might be disclosed in a little while from now. Back to you.
Thank you, Tapas, for joining us with that quick update. Viewers, just put this in perspective. West Bengal is headed for elections any date now. The dates for elections of West Bengal and other states would be announced. And in the midst of all of this, the governor has decided to step down. We are awaiting more information.